Hello, hello. Alex Koloskov is here. Welcome to Photigy Friday Photo Talk, or Friday Photo Talk at Photigy. How are you? How are you doing, guys? As usual, I'm monitoring chat at YouTube channel. If you're watching us on the video blog, that's where video embedded on Photigy. Go to Photigy, to YouTube channel, so you can ask me question. Okay, hello, hello. Hello, John. Hello, Abraham. Well, so many people. Whoa, Mohammed, Maya. Wow, cool. Glad to see you guys. Glad to see that you are watching me. Glad to know, actually. You know, every time I talk, looking at the camera, I'm always imagining this little hole into the entire world with lots of people behind it, really. So we're kind of seeing you in my imagination. So, how are we doing? I hope you're doing good. Let me know if sound is good, all this, video sound. We should be okay. I mean, I see that we should be okay. Let me tell you what we'll be doing today. First, I'll talk about, a little bit, not too long, I'll talk about how to start photography business. It was a question actually asked on the Photigy Facebook group, and well, it's, this question is probably the most time being asked on everywhere. How freaking start making money when you just, ready for this, using your photography. You know something, let's say you graduated school or you took some courses and you did your homework, and now it's time that you want to make money. Where to go? I'll tell you a little bit, at least my own perspective into this, okay? But like I'm saying, this is my own vision, okay? There are different ways. I'll try to cover all of them, but just bear in mind. Something that worked for me may not work for you, or maybe there is something else that will work for you way better than it would possibly work for me, okay? Привет, Алекс. Привет. Мы тоже можем говорить по-русски, но не на этом токе. Okay, I know Russian a little bit. So, okay. I've been conducting interviews and talking to many photographers. Some of them were beginners, some of them were well-known, established photographers. And one of the most interesting things for me to learn from them was like how they started, how they start making money, how they start running business, photography business. And what I see, there are different ways. Let me just go through it. There is no special order. I just, put this little paper just to stay a little bit, in structure. So, one of the things is networking. Many people using networking at the beginning, getting connection, and this way through networking they start their business. It may be, networking is, it's very big term, right? It may be all kind of things under networking. It may be just going to some parties and meeting people and talking to them and making nice sort of friendships. It's probably American way to say friendship. In Soviet Union we kind of treat friendship in a different way. But anyway, making friends and then telling them what you do and sort of, oh, you're a photographer, oh, I need some photography. So this way, right? Of course, for networking, you need to have a special skill to be a good networker. And if you are an extrovert, if you enjoy doing this, if you enjoy talking to people, to strangers, this is probably one of the best way for you to do. For me, it was not the best way because I'm a very shy guy. Yes, I am. I'm sort of, right now, I'm more like extroverted introvert. But 10 years ago, when we've been starting everything, I was really introverted. My English even was worse than right now, and it's still not perfect. You can hear it, right? So networking was nightmare for me. I tried to do this. I honestly tried. I went to some meetups, and everything ended up with me sitting somewhere in the corner, making sure that nobody sees me, and I can see everybody, and I was happy. But of course, it was zero. It was the effectiveness of such networking was zero. And however, there are ways. I know people who've been very successful at doing this. And what was cool for me in terms of networking was to work for local chamber of commerce. You remember Timothy Coe? He was visiting us Photigy studio a couple weeks ago or about a month ago, and he's talking how cool it for business to participate in some projects in local chamber of commerce. For me, it was an interesting project at the very beginning of my career, photographer's career. When I took a project, it was a calendar. It was actually a charity project, meaning non-profit, for Chamber of Commerce, where 12 companies bought each page, 12 pages on calendar, and it needs to be photographed. For each calendar page that company paid for, and again, it was a charity, they hired photography me to do this. So it was 12 shots on locations with studio lighting. I was bringing some crazy Novatron packs with some lights, which I just bought that time. And I've been paid, guys, for 12 days, plus post-production, plus lots of things. I've been paid $800. So it was, just imagine, it was almost no money. However, it was still money. And what was cool about that, first, I still meet people on different companies, because it was 12 different companies. IBM, Home Depot, Siemens, well, don't remember others, but it was relatively big names. I've been in their offices. I've been talking to people as a photographer. They've seen me working, and it was a good way to create connections, professional connections. Plus, I put all those companies in my portfolio after that, meaning that I worked with IBM, with Siemens, with Home Depot, and it was a good thing too. For beginner, for the guy who never worked before with anyone, it was a really cool thing. So that was sort of networking, but it was networking through the work. Okay. Okay, let's jump to chat. You need to invest to the camera. No, to start business photography, you don't need to invest to a camera. You invest in the camera to learn photography. And to start the business, you already have camera lenses and all that kind of stuff, at least minimum, you already have. The only thing that you don't have is customers. That's what you don't have, right? So we're talking about how to get customers. Now, not how to start shooting. It's a different way. How to start shooting, you know it, right? You go to Photigy, you take courses, then you buy camera so you can use that courses and shoot something, and then you create good portfolio. This is how you start shooting. Okay? So, it was networking. Then, another way to enter the business is to inherit it. What I mean by this, I know photographers, very successful photographers by now, that started to work as assistants or the crew members of some already established photography business. And they've been working for several years. And of course, they've been making connections to all the clients that were doing business with for all those years with that company. And ideally, you if you are good enough, you're taking the place of a photographer who's retired, getting all his or her clients. This is the beautiful way because it brings you tons of business at some point. However, first you need to work a lot for very little. And actually, this thing about working a lot for very little, it applies to any way. I mean, to any way to start the business. To start it, you really need to invest. It's investing your time, your energy, your talent without getting much back. At least not in monetary type of response. I mean, it will be very little at the beginning. Okay? So, in terms of inheritance, for example, Bill Cahill, Los Angeles-based photographer. We had interviews with him on Photigy. He started assisting big guy, I forgot his name, and then he took his business. Again, beautiful thing. Okay, but of course it's very limited supply, I would think, because not everyone can start working with big names or at least established businesses. There are very few of them, right? Okay, guys, about technical questions. We'll talk about all the equipment a little bit later. So, networking inheritance, then coming from a back door. That's what I call coming from a back door. It's one of the ways when you start making connection, you kind of enter in the world of photographers, art buyers, and anyone in between, by not as a photographer, but somebody else. For example, Peter Hurley or Sean Armenta. You know Peter for sure. You know that. I think you know Sean Armenta. He's, I think, LA-based photographer, fashion photographer. They were starting as models at the beginning. So they were not photographers, they were models, and they meet photographers, they meet art buyers, they've been working with all of them, and at some point, again, Peter Hurley, you have an interview with him on Photigy, you can hear it yourself. Somebody offered him, or not offered, asked, hey, can you shoot, or I forgot whose idea it was, but anyway, he took a camera, started shooting, and since he knows how to pose, how to model, he can direct models, and he knows guys who need such photography because he's been working with them previously. So it was, again, backdoor entrance. Okay, it's very cool. And the last thing to enter the business is probably for really shy guys and girls, introverts like me. It's about through a good photography. Let photography speak itself. So you being silent, photography speaks. Of course, good photography needed anywhere else. I mean, without good photography, you can't really succeed. But to enter, because we have social media, because you can be very active and very extroverted on the social media, being really introverted in reality, I mean, in physical world, you can really invest into making awesome photography and do a good work on promoting it, on posting on social media. Take a look at Danny Diamond. I hope you know him, the guy from New York, making beautiful portraits, street portraits, models, nice girls, guys. He's teaching, now I see he started taking commercial work, but at the beginning, he was just doing it for fun. He was doing it for fun. He was posting on social media. He got thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands followers there. And of course, it brought him a business. It brought him, he became instructor. He created his own courses. And it's all through social media, which is really cool. And it sort of worked for me, same way. Okay, I was investing a lot into photography, and I was putting it a lot into forums, I mean, on social media everywhere. Okay, and at some point, people start coming to me. But I also was doing some other crazy thing. I'm going to tell you in a moment. Let me answer. Okay, Danny Diamond. So, Abraham saying that people seem to contact any photographer they know to take product shots. They will say they don't do it, but they know so-and-so, and they will send them to you. Most of them will come that way. Yeah, Abraham, New York-based product photographer, doing beautiful stuff. Abraham, seen your post on that glossy thing. I don't know what it is, glossy piece of metal that you photographed. Cool stuff, and you did really well. So yeah, very true. If other photographers will know you through social media, because usually it's your followers of other photographers, they will just recommend if they don't do product photography. And Beauty with product photography, that it's only 1% of photographers really knows how to do it. And clients doesn't know this. Clients think that if you shoot weddings, that for sure you can shoot product. They will always ask any photographer, the guy with the camera, hey, can you shoot this for me? And in most cases, photographer instead of just saying no or yes and trying to shoot it another way, but let's leave it, they will recommend somebody else that they know that's good and they know through the social media. Of course, maybe there is a connection, but you cannot connect so many people in person, right? Social media way better for this. Okay. Привет, привет. Hey, people saying. So, and what I was doing, there is other way to start running business. And you guys gonna hate me saying, Alex, this is crazy, but first, it works. And it works not only for me. What I'm talking is basically doing photography for free. Ooh, not good. Listen to this. When somebody comes to you and say, hey, can you do this work for me for free? I will feature you on our, whatever, billboard, or put a name, credit. This usually doesn't work because they already looking the guy who can do it for free. And it's not a good way to work with that customer when you've been already treated like a photographer who's doing free stuff. You probably will get a business through them, but it will be same business. Others will come and ask you to work for free. What I was doing, I was coming to people that I really like. I was looking at products, at some beautiful things that I want to photograph. Some of them I can buy and shoot and return. Like in Costco, I can buy watch, shoot it and return. So in my portfolio, I can have a Citizen watch, for example. But there are businesses where I can send email saying, hey guys, you have so beautiful product. I am a product photographer and I'm looking for some ideas. I have some cool ideas. Let me shoot your product. I'll do it for myself, self-assignment. I just love your product. Send it to me, I shoot it and send you back. And you will get the image. In this case, you are the one who came with the proposition, okay? It's not like they asked you. And what happens when you shoot this way, when you work, first you do what you want. You're not being told how to shoot it. No, you basically work on your own portfolio it's self-assignment. But you also do something really cool for that business. You're telling them that they're so good that you really like to shoot their product even for free. Whatever you choose and how you choose, but anyway, it's still, they will receive your photo. And this immediately puts you into that what I called, client advertisement loop. People will tell about this. Most likely they will tell, not like, hey, there is this guy who shoots for free. No, they will tell like their colleagues or maybe friends who may run business as well. They will tell that story saying that sort of, look how cool our stuff is, how cool our product, that even photographer contacted us to shoot it for free. So they basically talking about themselves, but they promoting you as a photographer. If you have a good portfolio, people will look at it, and at some point, you will see people coming to you and asking to shoot their products. Once you've been asked, here we go, you can set a price, and this can be your first clients. And let me tell you this. Always treat your client as an advertisement agent, especially your first clients, your first 10 clients. Because if you screw up your first clients, you're just making things 100 times harder for you to run. You shouldn't care about money. You should care about quality and to make your first clients to be really, really happy. I was always over-delivering whatever I was doing. Before the time when I had more requests coming that I can do, before that time, when I was just looking for a job, I was really doing more than they asked. I always was adding some creative shots they didn't ask me to do because I just wanted, when I was shooting something for catalog, I was thinking, hey, then I can do a creative shots with multiple products just for fun, just for my portfolio and to over-deliver my client. They were super happy and they were bringing another business to me because they feel, it's normal, it's good emotional sort of interaction between people. Okay, so Yeah, I think I was talking about this on previous. Okay, so this is the way. 4 ways to start, right? Networking, inherit the business, really good photography, let's put it, social media, and the 4th one is coming from a back door. This is how we see it. Of course, there are different variations, but basically you need to think where you can be the best in each way. There are ways to buy email databases and send emails. There are ways to shoot the postcards to businesses. It all can add, we're all doing this as well at the beginning. Yes, it worked. But 10 years ago is not right now. A different time. I don't know how postcards are good these days. Maybe still good, maybe not. You can try. Okay. Now, cool. Thank you, Abraham. I think we are ready to shoot. What I can do, again, this is something that we're doing right now. There is a course. We have a course called, let's see, Studio Product Photography Essentials. And on that course, I was showing how to shoot wine. Let's switch to the screen share. Yeah, this one. No, not this one. This one. Yep. So we have some wine in it. Let me show you all the images. But it just some of the wine. Right now, we're working on another project where it will be just a wine photography. It will be released on October. But I can show you some of the things that we recently recorded as a part of the course, but I'll do it right now in front of you. We have a wine, so why not to do it? Okay, it will be cool for beginners to kind of get some cool ideas. Okie dokie, so let's switch back and we'll shoot. If you have some question, let me go through the chat to make sure that it's speaker that I didn't miss anything. Hey, Ori here. Cool. Whew. Hi, Ori. Okay, yeah. I love you too. Okay. Where is my studio located? We are in Campbell, California. It's San Jose, just next to Netflix offices. Los Gatos, Campbell, Gravity move. Hey. Okay, so let's see. I have a wine. Let me show you. The bottle of wine, white wine. Cool, actually, bottle because the label has some opening in the middle, sort of cool. And this wine has, this is easy one, easy bottle, because the shape is curved the way that it's so easy to run the reflection through, from top to the bottom. Sometimes it's a little bit harder when the bottle is, you know what I'm talking if I try to shoot wine. But we can shoot other bottle as well, if time will permit us. So I'm placing this bottle on the on black glossy plexiglass and turning on one light. The camera is Sony a7R II at f16 or f14, no. Yeah, f14, 160 over second shutter speed, 160 over second, ISO 100. Okay, this is exposure, and you understand, we already did it on previous one. There is no reason to shoot like this, right? To get hard reflection. Yeah, let me jump to, this is the result. I'm shooting tethered, okay, shooting tethered to capture one, okay, and Well, yeah, let's leave it as, like it is. Or maybe I move this to over here. Okay. So now let's switch to this camera. Yes. Okay, cool. Let me see. Oh, you know, let's do this. Let's a little bit, I rotate it a little bit like that. Okay. So there is no reason to shoot like this, right? We need to put a diffuser. So let's put a diffuser. Let's put a diffuser. And guys, this is the beauty of this screen frame. Because it connects to that grip head, you can turn it vertically, you can turn it easily like this, and it's very little, but still pretty cool because of this. So when we do our usual way to shoot, we will be getting something like this, naturally, right? Okay, some gradient, nothing special. But let me show you a cool thing. Because it's a white wine, I want to shoot it on a bright background, on a relatively white background. And what I want to do, I want to put a diffuser behind, okay, and show you a cool thing. Again, this is sort of stuff for beginners. So if you know this, you can, you know, fix coffee. But if we have another light that we can put, let's put it like this, for example, and create a gradient. Is it visible on this camera? Maybe switch to front one. Yeah, let's switch to this one. So I put a diffuser, and I put one more light, turn it on. So it creates a gradient, right? It creates a gradient on the background, which creates immediately gradient on the bottle. But look at this. You know about, let's do this. Okay. So you know about refraction, right? And you remember about when you look through the lens, not the lens as a multiple element, you know, optical thing, but single glass lens. You know that if you will be outside of focal point length, it will be flipped, you know, the world will be flipped through the lens. See what happens. The bottle itself, it's a huge lens. It's very kind of, it's not a macro, but well, it's a lens. It's like a fisheye lens. And we have a gradient. This is how you pronounce it? Gradient. We have bright here, dark here. And you see on the bottle, it's opposite. It's bright on the left and dark on the right. And since we have something bright on the left of the bottle, there is no reason to create that gradient this way. So it's bright on one side and dark on another way, on another side. We can flip it. This is what I'm talking about. We can flip it and move the light to the other side. So now the gradient goes like this, bright, dark. On the bottle, it will be flipped, right? So we have cool thing. What happens that we have a gradient, the reflection from the gradient from this light is coming on this side, on the left, and refraction from the background light comes other way. And you see how cool it is? And if we actually bring a little bit more brightness to the light that on left, let me increase it a little bit. Yeah, it sort of looks cool, right? And the coolest thing that you see, this is a label. That's the cool about bottle, and actually we need to put it a little bit straight. Make sure, oh no, other way. No, still. Okay, so it looks really cool, especially for that label with the opening in the middle, sort of mountains. That gradient is a really cool thing. And the only thing that left is to highlight this side, right? We can highlight it by, let's say, adding some reflector, right? We can, well, I wouldn't see. Usually I connect camera to the TV and I see live view on the TV. It's so easy for me to, see what is going on. Right now, it's not there because of you guys. So we can highlight, label from other side by holding the diffuser. Label looks cool. The glass itself doesn't look that cool because it has reflection now from the label. And we can fight that reflection. You understand? Talking about glass. The reflection from the white cardboard. We can fight by adding the light on the background, adding the power. Let's say if we add one more f-stop and shoot it this way, let's see what will happen. And shoot it like this. And shoot it like that. And shoot it like this. So different styles, and you can always choose the one that you like better with less reflection on the glass. Also, cool thing about this, that you can create a little reflector only to catch a reflection on the label. Let me show to you what I mean. Because if you don't want that large reflector to be visible on the glass, sometimes you don't want this. You want to highlight only label. Of course, you can add one more light and just hit it. I have this, for example, I can put a spotlight over here and hit it from the bottom, right? If you have enough light, it's not a problem. It's super easy. You just turn on one more light. Let's do this. Okay. This is a spotlight. I hold it somewhere below. Looking through viewfinder to making sure that it highlights only the label, and shoot. Okay, actually we can add power, and in general it looks nice, right? But sometimes you don't have light, so you need to use a reflector instead. Okay, let me see. Now, why I am holding it below? What is going on? Do you understand? Again, if you never shoot wine, you may be kind of asking why. But let me show you. If you will hold light, well, we'll have light somewhere here, for example. It will highlight a label with no problem, but will also create a reflection on the bottle. Okay, you see this. Even though it's little, it's easy to fix in Photoshop, but still, it's not a good thing. Actually, when you hold it lower, it's not a good thing as well. So what I prefer instead of this light, instead of having this light, I prefer to use a little reflector. Let me find it. Where is my little reflector? I should have it somewhere. It was here. We can make it easily. Well, let's try to use this one. So, a little reflector. You position it the way that it gets lower enough not to be visible on the glass. You know what I'm talking about? You understand? No? Let me show you. So I'm holding it lower. And ideally, I need to see the reflection from it, but let me just try to shoot and see the result. So it will get reflection on a label, but not on the glass on top of the label. Okay. It's still a little bit visible. Okay, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This piece is a reflector. Actually, I don't like this reflector. I want to take another one, which would be paper. Let's get this one. So the idea is that you lower it, lower it, lower it, lower it, the way that it's not visible. Let's see. It's even worse. So let's add a little bit light to a side. Okay. I cannot work without looking at the camera. But imagine that I just move it low enough so this thing is not popping up. What I end up having, I have a gradient on one side, I have a refraction gradient on another side, and I have a label which highlighted on one side more, on another side less. In the middle it's a little bit darker, but again it's way easy to use dodge and burn if needed in Photoshop to make it a little bit brighter. What's cool about this way, without using the light from the center, most of the labels, well, many labels on a wine usually has some embossing and some texture. And it's sort of cool to have the texture on the image. And when you will highlight it from the light, whatever you put it on top or on the bottom, but from the front, from the camera view, the problem with that you will have, you will kill the texture, you will kill the embossing. And with the light coming from the sides, you will see even slight texture. And this is what happens. You see, I don't know if maybe it's not enough for you a resolution, but it's visible that this brand coat, it's a little bit embossed. And we see the texture of paper, and it's really cool. You know, without any post-production. It's really awesome. Okay, so this is what you do. And of course, don't forget about top cap. Ideally, I would just shoot it like this. Okay, one shot like that, another shot like this. And, well, it was a little bit too bright. But you know, you can always do the composite. Take a bottle, the glass itself from this shot, and take a label and the top from this shot. Boom, boom, combine two, and it will be super easy. What I'm doing right now, oh, well, whites. Oh, I did some change. How I can reset it? I did, well, I cannot do it because I need to reset that overlay. I was trying to show you the overlay. Anyway, forget about it. It's Photoshop work. Okay, so this is how it is, just a little demonstration how you approach to shoot a wine. You know, with this thing, it may be okay like that, or you can use just a little bit different, like in schema. You can move this light to be here, okay? You can move it so it creates a gradient somewhere in the middle. Let me show it to you. It creates a gradient somewhere in the middle, by the way, why it's not on the center. Which may be cool too. It's up to you. Sometimes we prefer to shoot this way with nice gradient coming somewhere in the middle. Where is it? right? Talking about this. Or it may be coming from other side, or you can even make it like this, for example, when you move away your diffuser from the, away your light from the diffuser. But you already know, especially if you've been looking at previous lesson, previous Friday talk, that this creates two diffused light. I mean, it doesn't have sharp cutoff line, so the glass may not look glossy enough. This not glossy, this is glossy because we have this line. Only glossy surface can reflect anything that has sharp cut-off line between, well, the contrast things. On non-glossy, on matte, it's all gets blurry. So if you blur it and show that blur on the glossy stuff, it may not look glossy, and that's one of the mistakes that beginners making. Okay, so I think the demonstration is done. Now we can run questions and answers. I've seen some questions were coming. Let's switch to the chat. Okay. Yeah, so Utsav was so emotionally with me during the shot. Ori saying that mirror. Yeah, mirror actually will look, I think, very cool. Let's try mirror. If I can fetch it really fast. Mirror can be even better. Well, for mirror, it probably will be same thing, but way brighter, right, on the bottom. Because it's a mirror, but it's not as just mirror. It's just a glossy. So let me see if I can find the mirror. We'll try. Why not? But I may not get it that fast. Because I have too many things. No, not sure where it is. Have everything here. Oh no, there is a mirror. But you know, the mirror is not a little bit not ready for the shot. So let me try to clean it a little bit. Usually I don't like mirrors because it's just too much. Usually. Just too much things going on the mirror. Glossy plastic, it's basically same mirror, but with very sort of dimmed reflection, right? So if you put a mirror over here, it may be a cool thing to do as well. Yeah, imagine that there is no black. Let me move it. Let me move it this way. So mirror, yeah, mirror cool. Mirrors is cool. Okay. Already. Let's see. The black part of the bottom is problematic. Black part, yeah, well, this is, that black thing is, sometimes it looks really bad. That's true. Sometimes it looks cool. We only can play with the angle, I guess, with the light, a little bit maybe in Photoshop, but the reality is, well, this is how it is, how the bottle is. And let's say if we will use a different bottle with that shape, that not that easy to shoot shape, you know what I'm talking about? Where you may not get reflection all the way to the top, you can see. We have so many wine, we need helpers in the studio at some point to make, you know, to dispose it properly. Any volunteers on disposing wine properly? Okay, so you see what happens here? Since we're doing this, why not to show you? The reflection, let me turn off the light behind so you'll see a little bit better. The reflection from that side is not covering the whole thing. Talking about this reflection, right? And it's simply because it's a low reflection and the shape. The piece on the neck is not reflecting this diffuser, it reflects something else. And it tells me that it probably reflects something up higher. So the ideal solution is when we move the diffuser closer to our subject in hope that it will be high enough. Or we need to just replace the diffuser to make it higher. Okay, so it gets better and better. If it's not high enough, we need to either replace it with the, that's not what I meant, with the higher diffuser, or we can bend it slightly, or do whatever we can do to make it, the reflection, to go the way that we want, okay? Or we just may not fight at all for this, because you see it may still not look good. We can just move it this way, right? And it will be like a window. We don't need to have it connected. Whatever. It will be on the course. I cannot really fit everything. Okay, if you don't have strip lights to push against the screens, you can use normal softbox with flag over to get the same result, or will you lose too much light? Journal is asking. Actually, let's move to the table because I think I'm done with shooting, and let's talk. So, okay, journal. Yes, you can flag. Let's say if I have square softbox, I can touch the screen, the diffuser with one side, but that side is too large, so I can cover, let's say, half of it with a black cardboard, and yes, it will make it okay for the to make a gradient, a better, more contrast gradient. But the problem with this is that yes, you lose lots of light. I mean, it may be 2, 3, 4 f-stops. I don't know how much. It depends on the configuration of your the box, the softbox, or do-it-yourself strip box. That's very true. You know, when I didn't have enough light, when it was the issue, the watt second, you know, the power that I have was limited. Well, it's still limited, but you know, with Broncolor, with 3200 on one pack and 1600 watt second on another pack, it's a lot. I mean, I usually have covered it. But before, especially when I was doing that course for speed lights, you know, guys, that you can shoot everything like this using just speed lights, $60 speed lights and $70 softbox. Switch to screen share. There is a course. It's called Starting in Studio Photography. There are 3 parts: theory, practice, and Photoshop. And the practice itself, it was done with the, actually there is a free video about the gear. You can, let me send it to you. 15 minutes where I show what I was using to shoot the whole course. And it was $60 speed lights and $70 eBay of boxes, strip boxes actually. So let me put it, the link. Meaning that you can do it with a very little light. I think I already mentioned this course, but all this was just speed light work. Again, the whole thing you can fit in probably $300. The whole setup, the lighting, without stands. Stands, it's optional. You can have your friends holding them. Okay, so you see the bottle, look beautiful and all this. And the box, sort of, you know, little commercial thing with speed lights. Okay, and if you don't have enough power, you are raising ISO. Okay, so let's switch it back. You raise ISO. Most of the camera are good at higher ISO, and you just gain in brightness. I mean, you don't need that much light. So ISO 400 may work really well. ISO 800 with modern camera will work really well. You can always, I mean, try to avoid it, but it's better than to not to walk, not to shoot. Okay, let's see. So now let's question and answers. Let's talk a little bit. We have 10 more minutes, and actually 8 more minutes, and we'll be done. I need to drink. Or you need to drink or me need to drink. I'm drinking water constantly. It's the best thing in the world, the water, really. Okay. For me, clients do prefer some warmer, rustic countryside surrounding. Of course, Jerome, shooting the wine. I sort of showing you the catalog type of shoot. You clip out that bottle from that gradient background, you put it on a white background, and actually on the lesson it's covered, you basically get in the white background. And having same gradient on the bottle, not a problem. And it's sort of beautiful, but it's catalog style of shot. It's just a different. When they need some nice surrounding, maybe some propping like a cheese or maybe grape, or yeah, it's usually wood. It's way warmer. It's a beautiful thing to do. Well, we all prefer more creative work, right? But I think most of the by number the assignments, it's catalog work by number of shots. You know, it's just more. So it's like always. Okay. So, guys, looks like we are good. If no questions, I'll wait for 4 more minutes. Just make sure that you subscribe to Photigy channel. We do it every Friday. And again, if you have a cool idea of what to shoot, send us a mail. Inquiry, hey Alex, please do this and this, and we'll do something. We can do even reviews just in real time. We tried, I was showing you Sony RX RX10 Mark III camera on one of the previous Friday talks. I showed you some LED lighting that I have in studio and compared them. There are so many things that I can do for you guys. Just give me a little bit more idea. Okay. So, hi Alex, hi Anton. Maybe use some more light directly above. It can lighten the label. Anton, you can use light, well, directly from above, it's not gonna highlight the label, right? Because if you're shooting above, label is in front. The light should be above, but a little bit on the front. And you definitely will get a reflection on the neck. The bottle looks like this. So the neck reflects everything from top front, right? So it will be at least spotlight on the front. It's okay, and you can use it, and you can get, yes, you can get sharper texture. I mean, the more visible texture. Of course, that's, you know, guys, that the light can be used any way that you want. You just need to understand how it creates the image. Like about the texture, about preserving the texture on the label and embossing. If you understand that, hey, you shouldn't shoot straight with your light, you just shoot angle, yeah, you can put it below, above, and see what happens. It all works. I just start, finding that sometimes it's easier and faster to shoot with less light, for example, using some reflectors and then bring a little bit more brightness where it's not enough, and other things in Photoshop. It's just super easy because, Photoshop, it's part of our life. For a photographer, it's cool when you can do almost everything in the camera, and it's beautiful when you know how to do this. It's just sometimes faster to do in Photoshop. But, well, I always, you know me, I always try to do as much as possible on the camera. I just feeling good about it, when I do it. Okay. Why that umbrella look blue? That umbrella? Because I put a blue gel on it. Blue and orange. This is what makes things look nice. So I'm trying to make a look nice background so you guys have a more pleasant look on me when you're watching this video. Simple. We all, all the decisions, all the I like and not like, all the thing comes from emotions, right? We're not really judging things by our logical brain. You may think so, but the reality it's not. You judge everything just emotionally, and then you rationalize it. Then you kind of have thoughts and you say, okay, this is because of that and that, because, well, this guy is cool and this guy is not cool. But it's not true. The reality is everything runs through emotions. And colors, it's our emotions, right? Through photography. Okay, Carl Taylor. Yes, actually, exactly. I've seen first Carl Taylor start using that blue background, and I told myself, oh, this is cool. And when we moved to this studio, Carl Taylor, one of the. But Carl Taylor, he doesn't have orange or yellow. I added orange, so it's my style now. Blue with orange, with all different variations. Yep. Alrighty. So, what I can tell, I wish you a happy weekend. It's a beautiful time. I think it's beautiful weather almost everywhere. Enjoy your time, be with your friends, be with family, read books. Don't watch the damn TV. There is nothing there. The real life is outside, usual. Anyway, but this is me. And, well, I always enjoy talking to you. My pleasure. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to subscribe to Photigy channel. And if you, we published this video today on Photigy channel because once we shut down, it will be no stream, no video. But once it's published, feel free to share it with your friends. It will be cool, and I'll say you additional thank you for this. Okay, so enjoy your life, and bye. See you next Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Bye.